At this point now, we want to find the mean and the variance. So we are looking at the mean first. Now we all know that the mean for this one is going to be given, that is going to be given by mxt. The first derivative of this will give us the mean. So now if we have this one and then we find the first derivative, the first derivative of this, I know you are familiar with the division, the quotient rule, sorry. You are familiar with the quotient rule, that if I give you the value y to be equal to u over v, and this y prime is going to be just like u prime v minus v prime u over v squared. Now in our case, I want you to believe that our u is basically the one that is on top, this part, which is going to be equal to p a t. Then our v is basically this one. Okay, our v is the bottom part, sorry, yes, that's the focus property. Our v is going to be equal to 1 minus, so our v is 1 minus q a t. So if you get our u prime is going to be equal to p e to the power t. Just find the derivative of this one, multiply by this, it will be that. Then our v prime is going to be equal to the derivative of this whole thing. So it's going to be minus q e to the power t. So if we replace in this whole thing, what are we going to have? So if I replace deliberately, I'll pause this one so that you understand what I'm talking about, but I'm going to use it later. So in short, if you are looking for y prime, so my y prime is going to be equal to, I capture my u prime. My u prime is basically this one, so it will be p e to the power t. This is being multiplied by v, okay, u prime multiplied by v, so it is multiplied by 1 minus q e t. Then of course minus v prime. My v prime is basically negative q e t. Then this is multiplied by u, which is basically this one, p e t. So when we start simplifying, I want to get my u prime. When you are simplifying this by that, it will just give me p e t minus, if you multiply this, it's going to be p e t, okay, p e t, and then q e t, then minus. Of course, when you look at this time, this is going to give me plus. If you multiply this, it's going to give you p e t q e t. So that's the expression that we are going to have. Then of course the whole lot of this is supposed to be divided by v squared, and then you know what our v is. Our v is this one, which is basically 1 minus q e t, and then it is in brackets, it's going to be squared. Okay, so from here, meaning that my quotient is going to be equal to, if you check this part and this part, this part and this part, they are the same. So this is negative, this is positive, so it's gonna disappear. So we remain with p e to the power t over 1 minus q e to the power t, then the whole lot squared. That is basically what we have. So from this point, applying the quotient rule, then we are going to say the mx of t prime is going to be our result here, which is in this case p e to the power t over 1 minus q e to the power t. So this is the first moment, which is in this case our mean. So that is how we get the first moment. Now the second moment, I'll leave it up to you to find it, but I did go through it and then I found my second moment, that is so my second moment, which is basically after getting the second derivative of this one of x, is going to be equal to My result which I got, in this case I found p e to the power t, then the whole lot multiplied by 1 plus q et over 1 minus q et. So this is the second moment. So we have the first moment and we have the second moment and the first moment. So now if these two values, then we should be able to find our mean and our variance. So what we are saying, so for our mean, we are going to say mu1. Now this mu1 which we are assuming, we are saying this is about the origin. So if this is going to be about the origin, then our mu1, of course, is going to be equal to the first moment. Now this is going to be 0 because we are talking about the origin. So if you replace in the equation that we had, then we're going to have, so if you remember the equation that we just found for the first moment, for the first moment we had found, I will just write here our mxt. The first value that we found was basically, we found our PET over 1 minus QET. So now we are saying if the value for t is equal to 0, so it's gonna be this e to the power, this is basically e raised to the power 0, so it's gonna give me 1 times p, which is basically p. Then even here, this one which is e raised to the power 0, so it's gonna give me 1 by this one, so it will be 1 minus q. Okay, so this is the result that we are going to have. That is when we have that. But remember, this bottom part is squared, so this one is squared. So if we continue, this is going to be p. We know 1 minus q is basically equal to p squared, and this is going to give me a final result 1 over p, like that. So in short, our mu1 prime is going to be equal to 1 over p. Now what about the second moment? The second moment, which is mu, sorry, I will write it properly. So the second moment, which is going to be mu 2 prime, this is going to be equal to, if you look at the equation that we found for the second moment, which was equal to PET, then 1 plus Q, and this is equal to ET, and over 1 minus Q ET. So when we are talking about the second moment, we are saying this is going to be equal to 0, then this is going to be P, this is going to be 1 minus, this is going to be Q, then at the bottom here, of course this is raised to power 3. I think if you check properly from the other one that I wrote, it's supposed to be 1 minus, this is going 1 plus Q. So it's gonna be, I hope you know you can see this properly. So we are saying 1 minus Q to the power 3. So this is going to end, well, this is plus, so this is going to end as P 1 plus Q n over 1 minus Q is P, so this is like P cubed. So if you simplify this, this is gonna be 1 plus Q over P squared. That is the moment which we are looking for, the second moment. Sorry, I forgot to indicate that. So in short, this is the value for the second moment. Okay, when we are at the origin, so we have 1 plus Q over P squared. That's what we need to look at. Now, if you are looking for variance, the variance is always given as the expectation of x squared minus expectation of x. Now this whole thing, if it's squared, this is going to be, which is this is like the second moment, so we have 1 plus q over p squared. Okay, 1 plus q over p squared minus the first moment we found was just basically this one, which is 1 over p. So we are going to say 1 over p, then we square this one, it will be like that. Now if you are working this out, what are you going to have? This is going to give you 1 plus q minus 1 over p squared. Okay, this is what we're going to end with, and this is going to be equal to, when we simplify this, it's going to just end to be q over p squared. That is our variance. So in short, the variance of x, which is our random variable, is going to end up to that. So that is the variance, and our mean here, I'll set our mean mu is going to be 1 over p, like that. So these are the two values that we can find when we apply the concept of moment generating function, the variance here and our mean here for this value here. Okay, this is basically the way to do it. Thank you.